What's this?
Hello, welcome back to the Freak Show. Bumpy McSquigums here. I want to thank you all for joining me as I continue with my Let's Play of Torment Tides of Numenera. We might actually be able to play the game for realsies soon. No, again, I don't mind this, guys and gals. I actually enjoy a good story. I always tell people, they're like, oh, open world games are the greatest. Yay, go open world games. And I do enjoy open world games, but I am a very, very, very big fan of story-driven games. Well-written story and stuff like that, it just resonates with me. It's a little rough to do sometimes on YouTube because I want to be able to get into it. I want to read everything. I want to see everything. But I feel like it sometimes kills the flow of the game. Like, for me personally, I don't mind, but I don't know how other people react. So I'm going to try to just enjoy this myself, and hopefully you guys enjoy the ride. So there you have it. Really? Okay, more abrasive. So this is right where we left off in the last episode. Alright, are you sure that surge didn't hurt you? If it did, it was damage in our minds, though how you'd check if it carked her? I couldn't say. Carked? Is that supposed to be cracked her? I don't know. Tough to find normalcy there. At least we know it didn't hurt Aligarn. That skull's as thick as an organic stone. Okay, do you know anything about the tides? I've heard that term before, a subject your sire studied in great depth. I'm afraid it isn't my field of inquiry. Okay, what are the changing gods' bodies like again? Oh, I want to ask something else. Alright, let's see. Before I woke, I was in some kind of dream-like labyrinth with a glowing specter. With how hard you hit the ground? I'm surprised that's all you saw. Why do you seem to hate the changing god so much? The ghost of a smile touches his mouth as if he's privy to a joke, but it doesn't reach his hard eyes. He's lived longer than anyone in the Ninth World. Hasn't been much of a philanthropist either. Philanthropist. You can say it with like a lisp, and it's fine. And all that time, that's how folks used to say it when I used to play World of Warcraft, because they were a philanthropist, or I think that's what they were. In one of the dungeon things, and everybody would call, I don't know, it was funny to me. I'm sorry, I broke the flow. Let's get back into it. And all that time, he's helped some people, sure, but it's always been in his own self-interest. He's gotten away with a load of schist over the years. Okay. Well, if falling from the sky didn't kill me, is there anything that can? An excellent question! Having seen your regenerative abilities in action, I suspect they are primarily physical, a regrowth. If that's the case, you'd be unable to survive most varieties of psychic or molecular decomposition. Disintegration, conflagration, there we go, and so forth. Degenerative diseases could pose a problem, and I know of several entities capable of psychic destruction. Whoa! As she speaks, a vision flashes into your mind. It's not yours exactly. Somehow, you know this is a memory of the changing gods. You are in a dark room lit by a myriad of blinking lights and holograms from the many machines surrounding you. What about a body that can withstand the sorrow's attacks, says a voice. It seems to be coming from one of the machines. No, you reply. The thing has no respect for barriers of any kind. Physical, temporal, psychic. This is the only way. With a series of gestures, you bring up an image of a crystalline pod. If the resonance chamber works, it will give us the power to stop the Sorrow's hunt once and for all. We just need the right focal point, a catalyst. The memory fades. Callistige is still talking. You realize that the device you saw in the memory is identical to the one behind you now. It looks just like the Spectre had described it, a transparent sarcophagus inside a crystalline dome, with mechanical arms arrayed around it on a metal ring. Unfortunately, the dome is shattered, the sarcophagus is cracked, and one of the arms is in pieces on the floor. Whatever its function, it clearly needs repair. Or flesh-eating viruses, one presumes disfigurement by the iron wind would likewise be devastating enough to... I think he gets the point, Callistige. I saw a vision of myself in another time and place just now. You didn't see it too, did you? I saw you stare into space while Callistige graphically described all the ways you could die, but that's about it. I only noticed because I did the same thing. He snorts. Do either of you know anything about the sorrow? I've had my share of sorrows, but never the sorrow. What's that? A disease? Her mouth compresses in a tight line. I know nothing about it. Oh, really? Okay, do either of you know how to fix the crystal chamber there? Aligern chuckles, then, firm and certain, he says, not likely. Though it might not be impossible, you need people with the appropriate knowledge. I'm sure the cult of the changing god will hold the answer. Her distaste is evident in the expression of her echoes, although the face of the one in the lead remains clearly impassive. You turn to the insane to help a newborn? Where's your judgment, Aligern? I would take him to the Order of Truth. The Order of Truth? Are you mad? They would sooner take us apart. What's the Order of Truth? Knowledge seekers, the learned who try to wrest secrets from the hearts of the prior worlds. They gather in the city to exchange their findings and help humanity to build a brighter future. She smiles brightly. Our friend Aligern here was once one of them. Frauds, quack-salvers, and charlatans. They don't have all the answers, and I did not trust them with the changing god's secrets. It's fair. You're just being angry because they couldn't help you with yours. Her echoes tinkle with laughter. But I am being too cruel, dear Aligern. Let us take our new friend to the Order. What's the cult of the changing god? Despite what she says, they're not insane. They're eccentrics. She laughs, but he soldiers on. They're worshippers of, well, of you or your sire, the changing god. They devote their lives to understanding your kind. Well, that's rough. It would make the most sense to go to the cult of the changing god to get this fixed. That is the most logical one. And the fact that it's the Order of Truth, yet it still seems that they're charlatans, maybe? Might also prove that they're maybe the big bad. I don't know. And then we can figure this out on our own as well. That's also an option. I'm going to go with the cult. A wise choice. Your worshippers aren't likely to cut you apart, and they're sometimes fools, but they collect knowledge and data. They'll tell you more than you care to know about whoever you are. They could give you good counsel. She sniffs and gives Aligern an acid glare. Good counsel? The best counsel is to come with me. I'll accompany the two of you. When you change your mind, you'll need an introduction to the Order of Truth. Fine, we'll both go, but don't be surprised when Calistige leaves you broken in a ditch with your purse empty, while she laughs it off as a good experiment. Suspicious as always, Aligern. Child, the world is an exciting place, but it is full of dangers. Rest assured, one of us will get you safely to where you need to be. I'll be right behind you. A sunny smile crosses her face. She is terrifying, by the way. Alright, well, why do you want to go with me? What's in it for you? I won't deny that you are an exciting find, but it's not about that. I just want to see you safely out of the reef, okay? Kid, you're not safe here, and not just because you're new. Treasure hunters trawl the reef. Trawl? Okay, that's an interesting word I haven't seen before. Fine. Scavengers who would sell you for parts if they knew where you came from, what you were. Alright, well, let's go. You've gained your first companions! Woohoo! They will follow the last cast-off and can be controlled during a crisis. You can speak to them about their pasts and take advantage of their unique abilities and skills. Cool. Companions have their own motivations and personalities, and depending on the choices you make, they may not follow you forever. You will find more companions who can join you as you travel through the Ninth World. Take this opportunity to explore your surroundings. You may find items, equipment, and more to assist you. When you are ready, you can leave the broken dome using the stairs to the northeast. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we are officially underway, I dare say. We are the last cast off. It's sad that we don't actually have a name, but that is okay. And there are many things that we can do here. Let's start with this. Broken fragments of the domed ceiling are scattered on the floor. They appear to be made of transparent synth. The flexible tubes that are attached to this machine appear to be later additions. Someone cobbled the device together, but its function is unclear. Tiny glowing motes float through the interior of this tower. Each one is surrounded by much smaller motes, like thousands of worlds circling their suns. Okay, that's all the descriptors. Now we actually have to do some stuffs here. A mechanical arm lies on the floor, presumably broken during your fall. Sparks pour from the arm's shattered housing, filling the air with a greasy stench. Examine the housing. Lower machinery, quick fingers. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Examine the housing. The sharply pointed apparatus that formerly topped the device appears burnt out and useless, but the equipment in the base remains at least somewhat operational, as the constant stream of sizzling motes can attest. Well, that's not going to happen. We're probably just going to get ourselves hurt. We're going to leave the device alone so I don't, like, get my fingers chopped off.
Alright.
Which is definitely something I could see happening. Alright, let's get on over here. What's in this? Alright, we got ourselves some shin. Okay, I guess that's money. An encephalic rush? Sure. Heals 3 points of intellect. That's odd. Is that like mana? Fleetfoot moss heals 3 points of speed. Oh, okay, never mind. I understand how that works. Okay. It heals the points that we need for the various things that we do.
Yes.
Let's go here. A slate black, unimpressive device hunkers before you. As you reach out to touch it, the triangle of lights on its casing blazes into life, and an image unfolds in your mind. A towering crystal arch rises over a jagged gray landscape. The air is dead and stifling, and there, at its emerald peak, the image collapses, leaving you staring into the device's triangular array of lights. Command me, the device, or the intelligence within says, each word carefully etched with distaste. Okay, with distaste. Who are you? Your command was not understood, the intelligence says with clear satisfaction, sounding for all the world like it understood the question, but is choosing not to answer. Command me. What was that arch you showed me? Not understood. Show me that arch again. Okay, the device's triangle of lights throb in time with the growl of the engines within its casing. The mental image unfolds once more. You see a huge crystalline arch on a jagged field. The arch is divided into rectangular cells, all of which are numbered, and they all appear to be transparent and empty, except at the arch's pinnacle, one cell is lit in a brilliant, pulsating emerald. The number 0 is printed on the side. What is this? Anamnesis? Try to remember more details about the strange place. Sure. Let's do it, eh? Let's do it. The memory blossoms. You stand before this arch, eyeing the last 2 active cells in the once impenetrable Lugum-vo. Lugum-vo? Sure. Unleash cell 29, you say, and a twisted artifact appears before you. You claim it with a faint smile, watching the light fade from the cell far above. You flinch from the memory, and it falls apart as you raise your eyes to the arch as it is now. Cell 29 is dark. Only cell 0 remains. Examine the jagged wasteland. Dry grit whirls across the empty plain. Many kilometers beyond the arch is the faint outline of what seems to be a broken tower, except that it is slowly stretching into the gray air. Let's examine the arch. You release your mental hold on the image of the arch. Oh, you are closing it, and it collapses, returning you to reality. Let's see. What commands do you recognize? It's not going to tell me, is it? The 3 lights throb irritably. Heated air sighs from the device's vents, and then a towering list of commands races through your mind. Far too fast to read. You rub your eyes, groaning, and the intelligence chortles. Command me, it says smugly. Smashing. Kick the device as hard as you can. No. Show me the list of command again slower. Show me the arch again. Show me the commands again slower. If anything, the list supports your mind even faster than the last time. Command me. Oh man, funny. Alright, let's go ahead and unleash the contents of Cell 0. You found a cipher. Ciphers are Numenera objects that can trigger a powerful effect but can only be used once. Ciphers and your cipher limit score are displayed in a special section of the inventory screen. Take care not to accumulate more ciphers than your cipher limit, or you will experience unpleasant side effects. Unstable detonation. All in the immediate area. Deals 6 energy damage, 4 physical damage to all characters in range. Huh. Cool. The device's lights flutter with an incandescent shock, then focus on you, flickering. Cell 0 will now be unleashed, the intelligence spits. Please be advised that the object you are about to receive is completely safe. Use no caution whatsoever. The strange contents of Cell 0 materialize before you. Warning, all cells are now vacant. Shuddering Lugum Vo. The intelligence lights wink out one by one. We gain 3 experience, and we now have unstable detonation. Interesting that a cast-off can command the changing god's machines. He crosses his arms across his chest. How'd you do that? Callistege rolls her eyes at Allegern, then she looks at you. He'll never stop gnawing on his bone, you know. The truth is wasted on him. She gets a glint in her eye. Though I admit, curiosity. How did you do that? Maybe you're right. Maybe I am the changing... I remembered something. I don't think it was my memory, though. Residual memories of a past consciousness? Truly fascinating. Oh, don't act like you know what that was. It's just as likely the machine triggered something past his amnesia. Well, that's true too. She gives you a meaningful look that then mimics teeth gnashing like an animal gnawing a bone. Crackle. Okay, so we done did some stuffs. Alright, let's go see what else do we have. Looks like we get to come over here and do this. Sunlight falls through the ragged hole in the roof onto the shattering resonance chamber. It is hard to believe that you did this. That you plummeted through the curve of the pale blue sky, crashed through the dome, and broke this delicate machine with your own body. It's hard to believe that you're still alive. 4 mechanical arms hang over the center of the device above the cracked semi-transparent crystal of the sarcophagus. The 5th arm lies broken on the floor among the scattered synth and crystal shards, and a metal ring surrounds the array, dented and broken by your impact crater. Okay, let's take a closer look at the sarcophagus. The padded interior beneath the coffin's cracked lid looks like it was made for a human body. Despite the damage, you don't see any way to open it and get inside. You glance between the sarcophagus and the needle-like protrusions at the ends of the arms above it. It seems likely that using this chamber would not be a pleasant experience. Examine the suspended arms. Cables run from the machines along the dome's walls to the base of the suspended arms, each of which is capped with long needles aimed at the cracked coffin-like chamber at the center of the platform. Gem-like lights flicker dimly at the base of the arms. Well, that sounds pleasant. Inspect the metal ring. You feel the slightest hint of resistance every time you cross the ring, and now that you're paying attention, you note that your breath is echoing in your ears as though you were inside of a glass dome. When you step outside the ring, the feeling passes. Weird. Examine the shards on the ground. Jagged fragments of crystals are intermingled with synth from the shattered dome above. The crystal shards glitter in the light like captive suns. Pick up one of the crystals. You've picked up some items and equipment. To make full use of them, you will need to view them, equip them, or share them between your party members. To view your inventory, click the inventory button on the bottom right of the HUD. Okay. Look for other useful shards. Look for other useful shards. You sort through the remaining pieces of crystal, but they are all too small or too unwieldy to be of use. Alright, let's step away from the machine device. And we need to go into our inventory, which is here. The inventory lets you view, equip, and manage items and equipment you find. It has a number of sections. This first is equipment, which contains any items equipped to the current character. Equipment includes melee and ranged weapons, shields, armor, ornaments such as rings, amulets, and bonded items. Your backpack contains the items being carried by the current character. You can equip, inspect, or transfer items from it. Quest items contains any special items required for quest. Quest items cannot be discarded or sold, so you won't need to worry about accidentally losing one. Nice. This final section shows the ciphers you are carrying and your cipher limit. Ciphers shown in the inner rings are highlighted in blue and are safe to carry. Those on the outer ring, highlighted in orange, are over your cipher limit and inflict negative status effects. As long as you're carrying them, you can use, sell, discard, or transfer them to another party member to get back under your cipher limit. Interesting. So our cipher limit is 2. And we're carrying 1. And they're one-time use things, I think is what I remember reading, or is what they said earlier. Alright. So I've right-clicked on this. It's apparently a speed weapon. 2 to physical damage plus 2 per effort applied, a max of 6. Light weapon bonus 15% on weapon attacks. You scavenge the crystalline shard from the wreckage of the Changing God's Resonance Chamber. It is sharp and can serve as an improvised weapon. And I guess it is technically a weapon. So we can put that in our backpack, or we can do that. Alright, that's fine. Okay, let's see. We have character sheet, and we have journal. Nice. Alright, so we did everything inside this place, I believe. Oh yeah, alright, so we did everything. I just wanted to make sure that the arm thing was what that was. Alright, so let's leave through this staircase over here with our crew, and let's see where it takes us. I'm probably going to break off the episode here soon, guys and gals, so we'll see where this next area leads. But I'll make a slightly shorter episode, because the last one went a little bit longer than I wanted. You need to talk to me. Alright, I'll talk to you.
This is the Reef of Fallen Worlds, kid. It's a dangerous place at the best of times. And with you lighting up the sky as you fell, well, we should get out of here as soon as possible.
Legit? Why were you looking at me when you said that? I wasn't, he growls. Don't be so paranoid. But when she isn't looking, he raises his eyebrows at you knowingly. Interesting. Well, what makes the reef so dangerous? The Numenera of the past are always dangerous, but there are other dangers too, some closer than others. What are the Numenera? You want me to tell you? He laughs without mirth. The Numenera are all around you, everything left over from the prior worlds. Sega's cliffs thrives by trading artifacts from ancient civilizations. Hells, you can't scoop a handful of earth without finding dirt from prior worlds mixed with it. Yeah, it's fair. Numenera is anything from prior worlds, but mostly we mean the stuff of value to us. A lot of the Numenera are just oddities, fancy trinkets with little real use, but sometimes you'll get a cipher that lets you do something incredible. Artifacts are worth even more. A cipher will only do something once, but artifacts last a lot longer. Though they can burn out at the most inconvenient times. He frowns, not that that's ever happened to me. Of course, we've got no idea what most of this junk was originally intended for. In most cases, it doesn't really matter. Like you might find what used to be a propulsion unit for a star chariot. But who the hell knows enough to build you the rest of it? Better to use it as a weapon or a power source. He scowls, frustrated about something. I bet we could remake the world if we knew a tenth of the secrets of the ancients. But most days it's a challenge just to survive. Alright. Well, we can say, what is your story? And I think we will. Ask me again when we get out of here. I don't trust this damned reef any more than the company we keep. What do you think of Calistige? A parasite disguised as a skullark. Don't be surprised if she betrays you before the day is done. Actually, that would be slow for her. Why are you traveling with her? He clenches his mouth shut and you can see his jaw muscles working. She said she could help me with a problem I had. We never seemed to get anywhere with my business, but found plenty of time for hers. He looks you square in the eye. It wasn't something I'd care to do again. Keep that in mind when you talk to her. Okay. Can you tell me about your tattoos? They look almost alive. These? They're nothing. Call them a constellation if you must. He smiles grimly. Some call them by worse names. But that's because they've had occasion to run afoul of these little snakes. He looks away. This line of questioning is clearly at an end. Well, what do you think we should do next? You want to fix that crystal chamber back there, yeah? First step is getting out of this reef. Okay? Well, let's keep going, alright? About time. Alright folks, unfortunately that is it for my time. I was just about to stop it anyway, but yes, I am apparently out of time for right now, so the first 3 episodes should go up today, and you guys should be able to enjoy that immensely, and then tomorrow I will continue probably with 2 episodes, and then we'll go down to 1. Like I said, I like to hit it heavy in the beginning and then to slow down and try to keep it consistent and steady. I'm going to try to continue to record more than 1 episode a day, so if I do get backlogged or I have some sort of issue or problem, it won't be so bad. Anyway, looks like we got through all the preliminary stuff that we had to get through, and now we're going to be able to start our journey in earnest. We did get to do some stuff in there. We got to learn a lot more about the lore and a little bit more understanding about what's going on in the world. But so far, I'm enjoying my time. I hope you guys are as well. Again, hit that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the very next episode. Until then, my name's Bumpy McSquigums. Thank you so much for stopping by the Freak Show, and I will see you later.